Hello everyone, my name is 99er, and we're going to be running Totally Rad for the Nintendo Entertainment System. And let's get started. So the timer starts actually when we get control of Jake. Just after the Act 1 cutscene there. So here we go. Alright, so this is a platform much like Mega Man. Pretty much in the same respect of his abilities too. So he does have abilities at the beginning that he gains, or that he already has rather. But he uses a mana bar, so your mana bar has about 12 points. Each ability is usually 2 points. There are some that are stronger, but we tend to stay away from those ones because we want to maintain that mana bar. But for the first part, we're just going to clear a bunch of enemies away. Game likes to throw a lot of enemies at once, and we want to minimize lag. So in doing so, like technically with this character here, the flying character, we could fly over the whole stage. But the problem with that is it gets really laggy. We don't want that, especially in a speedrun. We'll be coming up to our first mini-boss here. We may take a little intentional damage here just to... Oh, we didn't have to. Now you notice at this point my mana bar did fill back up. We will not get that benefit in the next act. Some stages actually have like a checkpoint system where you do refill your health and mana, but there are certain acts like the second act that just don't have that. Usually it's a high reset point at that act. More to our advantage. Probably gonna heal up though, now. Ideally I do want a full health bar. And the nice thing is, you can heal yourself with your mana. Gonna avoid these enemies. So right before the boss, we're actually gonna switch back to Jake and get our setup ready for healing, so we're going to heal before we go in. So there we go. So the first boss, its hit point is actually its belly button. And what we're going to try to do, I kind of failed at doing at this point, is get him to... There we go. So if we can keep him in one place, it avoids that one phase where he runs through you. Well, that's the first act. Like I said, in the second act, you don't get the benefit of a checkpoint. So we gotta make most of what we have. I'm actually going to use the stop time ability to work on the first mid-boss here. We'll get a charge shot in, and then we'll stop time. It takes 9 secondary shots. I'm charging up to 2 pellets there. So now we're going to switch to the light ability, which actually gives us the ability to not take any damage when we're in the air. The only disadvantage is we can't attack in the air. We can only attack on the ground. Oh. There we go. Well, this is probably the scariest part of the run, is this area, because we got to avoid a bunch of enemies. I'm going to try to not take any damage from that bee. That bead deals about 3 damage. If I can maintain 4 health through this whole stage, we'll be alright, I won't have to heal. Now those bees work on a rail system, but they do like to backtrack early. So the odd time it'll get to about the half point and then it'll jump back. Nice. So we're looking pretty good so far. Doesn't look like we're gonna have to heal. I'm gonna switch to eagle form, or at least get ready for the boss, because there's 2 parts to the next boss. I'll explain that once we get there. Those bees like to shoot out a little pellet once they die, so you gotta be prepared for that. Okay, so this boss, he takes 12 hits to his leg. And then he'll drop, so we gotta jump over there quickly. Jump back, and now we're switching to eagle form. We can take the intentional hit here just so we can stay in one spot. That's the Act 2 boss. At the beginning of Act 3, we're going to get the fish ability ready for the next scene. But we're going to continue as the eagle for this part. There's a bit of a delay in the eagle's attack, same with the fish. They actually attack faster when they're off ground. But when I'm facing a boss, in this case, I'm just hovering over them. Alright, so now we're taking the fish form. Now originally when I started doing this run, the ideal strat was to use the line form just so you could avoid damage altogether. But there is one problem to that. If the line falls into the water, you can't swim back up. With the fish at least, if I fall into the water, I can get back out. Because I like to stay above ground here. And it makes it a bit easier to fight this boss too, because he has a bit of a sporadic pattern. I'd like to keep him going this way, otherwise he starts floating to the top right corner, or top left corner rather. I'm going to switch back to the line, make our way to the bottom of this waterfall. Now that was a bit of a tricky jump to do. You can either miss it completely and get hit by him, or just fall down. Like, if you just walk off the edge, you have no control over what you, where you go. I'm gonna just jump over that guy, and we're just gonna jump over most of everything at this point. Saves time than actually defeating them. Alright, we're at the bottom of the waterfall, and now we're going to face probably the easiest boss in the game. All we have to do is just stand behind him, wait for him to come down. We can get a few shots in as he's hovering, but he's going to just drop, and once he drops we can just deal with him there. Done. It is a little overpowered, but it does have a disadvantage. You can't really attack when you're in the air, and that's probably the only disadvantage. But we're going to use the line ability to get through the rest of this part. Now where those spikes are, there's a little like point where you can make that jump there, but it's kind of tricky. So we're going to switch back to Jake once we get to the other side of this ledge, because we've got to break through some walls. I'm gonna take intentional damage just so we can land in there. Now, there's a little trick here that if I can land at the same time this boulder lands, I won't flinch. I'll just go right through the enemy there. Now these magic abilities, there's 4 magic abilities for different elements. They all deal the same amount of damage, but this has the fastest animation, so we use this one. It'll take 5 hits of damage to finish this enemy. And then we're going to switch back to the lion right afterwards. You do have a short period of time while the enemy is disappearing to actually switch. So we're just going to avoid damage here. I used to use the eagle ability here, but we're trying to minimize lag as well. And this is actually the most effective way to do that. Because we're getting rid of enemies off the screen, so. Now this is probably the laggiest part of this stage. Can't really avoid it unless we use the time stopper, but at the same time then we have to switch back to Jake and it wastes a bit of time there. Now this boss won't hit you as long as you stay in this one spot here. You can just stand here and take shots at him. Once he gets to about 3 health, he'll start to descend. I'm going to try to get really close to him to finish him off. But I'm also going to watch for the boulder at the bottom. Oh, that's still not bad. Okay, and this is the final act. So we're going to switch back to lion at this point. We're going to avoid most of the enemies here. Now there's 2 pogo guys right next to this guy, but we're going to despawn one of them by just doing that little jump there. Kind of get that guy in the corner so he doesn't follow me. Now the dialogue's kind of silly in this game. There is a cutscene percent of this game which is fun to watch. It actually was showcased in a Summer Games Done Quick by Breakdown. We're gonna get Eagle ready for, because we gotta do a bit of flying up from this platform. We're gonna take some intentional damage just so we can get past this place a little bit quicker. And that was actually not bad, we missed that shot, so that doesn't usually happen. We're gonna switch back to lion once we get back to the ground. But we're gonna do a bit of flying here. Another really laggy part though. We've got 2 more mid-bosses coming up. This one's pretty easy to take care of as well. Just a matter of just hitting him with his eye out and just avoiding the eye. If you destroy the eye, he goes into a second phase where he's got these jetpacks going on and he's all over the place. So this is the best way to deal with him. And we're gonna get Jake ready for the last mid-boss, because we're gonna use the time stopper on him. So we're gonna switch to Jake, get time stopper ready, and we're gonna get about 9 hits in at a time, and then we're gonna use the time stopper again. Whoop. I'm gonna have to watch. There's that shot there. Because if that shot's still on the screen, I'll take damage from it. Okay. We're actually going to heal before we face this boss, because I don't have a lot of health now. We just have enough mana also to switch to the lion. So this is Edigi. The idea is to get underneath this sword and attack his legs. Oh, That's a bad setup. So I can't take hits from him. Ah. So that was a bad setup. I'm gonna actually have to fight this boss with the lion form. So usually I set the estimate to 18 minutes because I know if this goes sour, it takes a couple minutes to fight this boss. I do want to heal again. I have a lot more mana this time, so we should be fine. Hopefully we won't need it though. There we go. Now we can intentionally run into him and actually... Because this is the easier way to deal with them. You can kind of hit the edge of them. Which I was trying to do there, but that didn't work out, I'm afraid. But yeah, that's totally rad. Fun little game, fun short game. I'm working on getting a tutorial set up for this in the near future, so because I'd be interested in seeing other people run it. So thank you, everyone, and thank you for having me, Retro Gaming Live TV. I hope everyone enjoyed the run, and enjoy the rest of the event. Take care, everyone.